All right, it is just about 7 o'clock. We are going to get started. Hopefully, everybody can see my sheet anyway. You can't see me because I've discovered this goes better when I'm not trying to stream as much stuff. So, let's get right into this. Hello, Miss Trix. How are you? Hello, hello, and hello, Marily. I see you there in my Zoom room. Hi. So let's get straight into it. Although, since it's just the two of you right now, I was thinking about doing a asking AI, what is it called? Sono, to possibly do something like a fun intro for me, something that's catchy. Like I like carrots, or just a catchy song that would be the intro to every class. I don't know. We'll see what we can work out. But just be on the lookout for that. Ooh, Candace Jackson first. You have a test in the morning. First, you have the amazing name of Candace and Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Are there any specific questions that you have that you want me to go over for you? As usual, I was just you're studying from your igloo tricks. As usual, I just have practice questions, but ma'am, I know you're going to rock this in the morning. So if there's something you want me to go over, throw it in the chat. I will see it and we can talk about it. All right, let's do our first one while we're thinking, seeing if she has something for us. I do believe we left off on number 88, so let's go. A proration of any prepaid utility charges is most often reflected on a settlement statement in which of the following ways? A proration of any prepaid utility charges is most often reflected on a settlement statement in which of the following ways? Okay, now, Candace, I see you said, can I show you how to solve for vacancy rates? I don't know if I have a problem asking specifically for vacancy rates, but if you will type a question into the chat, I will try it. I will, and I could try to do a quick Google search to find one, or if anybody has a sample math question asking for how to find the vacancy rates, then I will attempt it. But let's go back to this question. So we're talking about proration of prepaid utility charges. I'm not quite sure why we have prepaid utility charges, but that's what it says. And we know a proration means to split, right? These questions you get confused on. Okay, that's okay, Caroline, because we're going to split it up. We're going to just break it down here for a second. We're going to say if it's a debit, it's money that somebody needs to, that is owed or somebody needs to pay. And if it's a credit, well, okay, I shouldn't say that they owe. Let's just say they need to pay that money because that makes credit is money coming to you. Because you can say, I owe the money, or you can say, I am owed money, and that gets a little confusing. So let's not confuse it. If it's a debit, you need to pay it. And if it's a credit, it's money that you're going to receive. So if there's a utility bill and it was prepaid, that means whatever the time frame is, if this is the closing, the seller would have paid for everything. But yet the seller only owned the house from here to here. So it makes sense that that buyer, because if this is when the seller owes and this is when the buyer owes, the buyer needs to pay back that seller for whatever they paid in advance, right? So that means the seller needs to get money and the seller needs to pay money. And we know if the seller is paying, that's a debit. And we know the seller needs to get that money. So that's got to be a credit. We're looking for a buyer debit, seller credit. So A looks good, credit to seller, debit to buyer, but let's make sure the other ones are right, not right. Let's not be a debit to the seller and a credit to the buyer. Right? It's not a debit only to the seller. It's not a credit only to the seller. When we draw it out, we see our answers. Hey, our answers A. Our answers A. Hey, our answers A. Do, 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 do. And like I said, Candace, if you're still there, if you can find one of those questions, I will totally go over it, but I see y'all said A as well. And I love it when you get stuff right. Love it, love it, love it. All right. 89. Which of the following tasks is an unlicensed real estate assistant permitted to perform? I feel like we did this already, but that's okay. In fact, I'm going to, well, every state is different. Every state is different, but I mean, if you're an unlicensed assistant, you shouldn't be doing anything that would be fiduciary-esque. So let's see if we can maybe guess this right? Like, which ones could an assistant do and not get in trouble? So host an open house, I'm going to say generally no. I'm thinking this is not the answer because I don't know about you, but if I was a seller, I want somebody licensed in the house. Again, this is kind of going nationally, but I would assume you need to be licensed to be in there. Oh my gosh, Trix, you're so right. Do a little dance, do a little dance for the intro. Oh my gosh, I love that, Trix. I'm gonna write that down. I've written it down. Okay. Generate and distribute commission checks. I don't mind that one as long as because it's the broker's money. So they're creating commission checks and then giving them to the agents. That sounds like accounting, and I think that might be okay. We'll say maybe. Submit an offer for a client if the broker's not. No. Oh, no, no. You should not be submitting offers if you are not licensed. And then D, attending property showings on behalf of their employing broker. On behalf of your employing broker, no. I would assume we're talking about sales here. And so, yeah, I'm thinking the answer is probably going to be B. Although I would say maybe D if we're talking about like property management. If you have somebody, if you're a broker and you have like employees and you're running an apartment, maybe, but this maybe is not strong enough for me. I'm definitely go with B, and let's see if my answer is correct. Our answer. Okay, Caroline said B. Mario, you said B. Candace, you said B. Trix, you said maybe B. So it's a bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. A bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. All right, let's see. Is our answer B? Hey, they said the answer's B. They said the answer's B. I love it. Good job, y'all. It is B. Woo. All right, 90. Frank owns. You said what, ma'am?
Oh, I was gonna ask a quick question because I don't know where I heard that you like if you wanna just ask someone to open, to show the house, but don't talk about anything about the house, but you could if you don't have a license, you could show just open the house and show the buyers, but not just not mention anything about the house. Is incorrect?
So I'm going to leave that to each state. So I'm in North Carolina, or I was in North Carolina, and that would be an absolute no-no according to North Carolina's rules. But I do
Okay.
know in some states it is perfectly legal as long as they don't say anything. So that's why I'm like, I thought about maybe not answering that question. Go with whatever your state says. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
All
Thank you.
right. No problem. All right, Candace put this question, this math question, before she tests tomorrow. Everybody give her a little support and love for tomorrow. Yeah, tricks like showing and don't answer questions. Be very careful with that. That's going to depend on the state. All right, Candace, you said it was for 12 months with 8 units with $800 per month. The first 5 months was 100%. The next 3 months were 6/8 occupancy, and the last 4 months were 4/8. What's the vacancy rate for the year? All right. We all know I'm not afraid of a challenge, so let's try this. I don't know if I'm gonna get this right. After I finish, we'll put it into Uncle Ray and see if it's what it says. So we got 12 months. right? In months 1 through 5, there was 100% occupancy. And we got 8 units. Let's see, months 3, 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8. That would be 6/8 occupancy, 6 out of 8. And then months 9, 10, 11, and 12. 9 through 12 had 4/8 occupancy. All right. Well, my first thing is I'm going to turn this into a percent. I'm going to turn that into a percentage. So we know 6/8. I'm going to turn this into a percentage by doing 6 divided by 8, which is going to be 0.75. Right? 0.75. And we know that 4/8 is 50%. So it's 75% and 50%. Now, I am not a math guru, but here's how I would do it. In my mind, if I'm looking for a percentage of occupancy for the whole year, I need to know how many total possible units could be rented. So what I'm trying to say, if it's 12 months and there's 8 units every month, then that means there would be 12 times 8, which is, oh, I always hate my 12s, 96, right? There's 96 total, I don't want to say like RIP payments due. Out of a year, there are 96 times where it could be rented out, and a unit could be rented out. And I know for the first 5 months, it was 100% occupancy. So 8 times 5 equals, there were 40 times where it was rented, 1 through 5. And then months 6 through 8, it was 75% rented. So, wait, did I do that right? 8 months. Wait. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. It is 8 units, and every month it was due. So 8, 5 times. Yep, that's 40. I'm just making sure I'm not going crazy. Then I got 3 units that are 75% occupied. So if I do 3 times 8, that means it's 8 units for 24 months. Well, 8 units for 3 months. That's 24 times it could be rented. And then it said 75% of that. So 25 times 75% is 18.75. So that would be minus 18.75. And then I know for months 9 through 12, there's 8 units for 4 months. So that's 32 units. And it's only rented half of the time, divided by 2. What is that, 16? So that's minus 16. I think this math is going to work, but Lord only knows, y'all, because I don't even know, but this is how my brain would take it. So we had 96. If we do 96 and there were minus 40, minus, let's just call that 18, minus 16. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I don't know. And that would equal, there's 22 units. There's 22 times that it was vacant. And 22 is what percentage of 96? So I'll do 22 divided by 96, and that equals 22%. 22.9%. Candace, by any chance, do you have an answer key? I don't even know. I don't know. but we're going to ask Uncle Ray because Lord knows I don't know. I could be right, y'all, or I could be wrong. It will be embarrassing if I am wrong. It's not embarrassing because I am not great at math and I could do it. So let's see. Let me ask ChatGPT. Ooh, I can just cut and paste it into my ChatGPT instead of try to talk it. What is the vacancy rate? Give me a second, y'all. Now, you can do this too. Not saying I want you all, but I use ChatGPT for everything, or Gemini, or anything like that. So if you're ever lost on something, don't be scared to ask ChatGPT and just be like, hey, how do I do this problem? And I will show you what it comes up with. And then it says, what is the vacancy rate um on the for the year? Yeah, for the year. So I'm going to switch shares for you all so you can see exactly what I see. So I'm asking Uncle Ray. Here we go. I could be right, but chances are I am wrong. I don't know. Hey, wait! I got it right, y'all. Hey, hey, we got it right. We got it right. Hey, hey. Oh, sick it now. We got it right. Thank you, Caroline. So I don't think, and I don't know what state you're in, Candace. It's not a question I've ever seen anybody ask me before, and I'm showing you my screen because now you could see. I mean, I talked you through what I would do, but here you go. This is what you would do if you want to kind of explain it. So I don't know if that helps you at all, but oh, and by the way, Candace, you can't tell me what's on the exam, la, 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 la. But if you said, that's just a question I was wondering how to do, that you're cool with. So let me know. Oh, you're in Arkansas. Okay. All right. Well, let me know if you need me to go over that some more. Otherwise, we'll go back to our questions. But hey, I'm proud of myself because y'all know I'm not a math genius. All right. Yay. Let's go back to our questions. I'm just so darn proud of myself. No pressure, no pressure. All right.
You deserve the good job song.
I do deserve the good job song and a cookie, if I'm honest. Like a cookie and the good job song would be great. Let's see. Where is my good job song? I'm a bobber. There it is. Here we go. I'm getting a good job. Here we go. Where is it? Ah,
Good job, good job.
oh
Good job, good job.
me. Oh me.
G-O-O-D-J-O-B. Good job, good job.
I don't know if y'all could hear that. Yep, it said share sound. Hopefully you could, but I just good jobbed myself. Yay, 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 yay. So there we go. Let's move on to our next question. It's gonna be, let's see. Next one. I got a cookie. Thanks for my cookie there. Next question. All right, number 90. And thank you for providing a question there, ma'am. Thank you so much. Like, I don't mind going over my questions, but I love it even more when I can actually do something that I know you all need. So I love the fact that you brought a question. Anybody can. 90. Frank owns 3 acres of land and sells 1 acre to a neighbor, but he reserves an appurtenant easement over the neighbor's land to access a pond at the back of this property. In this scenario, Frank has what? Okay, I want to draw this out. So we got Frank owns a property and he sells 1 acre to a neighbor. That's the neighbor, but he reserves, okay, this is the pond. But reserves an appurtenant easement over the neighbor's land to access a pond at the back of the property. Oh, thanks, Candace. What does he, in this scenario, Frank has? All right, so Frank, let's make this easement blue. He reserved an easement over the neighbor's land to access the pond. So Frank is traveling this way. So Frank's property is doing the crossing. So that makes the neighbor's property of service. This property is of service, and that means Frank's property is that's a B, the dominant tenement. Because it's not really Frank, but it said in a pertinent easement. And in a pertinent easement, one way to remember this is there's two P's, and that means it's got to be two properties. It's one property's right to cross another property. If this question had said, instead of a pertinent easement, if it had said a personal easement, then Frank would have had an easement in gross. But since it says a pertinent easement, there's got to be two properties, and Frank is the one doing the crossing, or Frank's property is the one doing the crossing, which means Frank has got the dominant tenement. Woof! We had to kind of go around there and circle a little bit, but you see how drawing that out helps? Uh-oh, I see Trix getting right. I see Caroline and Mario getting it right. We got it. Bees in the trap. I'm bringing home a baby, bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? Just like when you all bring home a passing score, your mommies will be very proud of you. At the very least, I'll be proud of you. So there's that. All right, 91. In a limited partnership, okay, roles and responsibilities are divided between general and limited partners. Which of the following best describes the management structure of a limited partnership? Okay. Do we know anything about limited partners? Right? Do we know anything about limited partners? Okay, well, yes. If it was a full partnership, then you all go 50-50. Like if something goes wrong or something goes right, everybody is responsible or equal, whatever. But when you talk about limited, usually when I see like the limited partnership, what I think is like a silent partner. I know you all have seen movies where there'll be a silent partner. Somebody is just putting in money. So they put in money to help the business, but they're not there every single day. So many shows talk about this. In fact, you know what show does? Is it called Sweet Magnolias on Netflix? The woman's got the restaurant and she got silent partners, things like that. I think that's the name of the TV show. But yeah, you got partners. Ooh, or if you watch what do you call it? Gilmore Girls. Luke put in money and he became kind of like a silent partner. And Lorelai's, yeah, I did there. I went there with that. I did go to Gilmore Girls with that. I sure did. So, and the silent partner doesn't really get to make any major decisions. They're just putting in money. And then if there's a profit, they get some of that profit. But in exchange, if it goes down, if stuff goes down, the most they are responsible for is their investment. That's the most. Hey, Jamie. Yep, and it's Sweet Magnolias. All right, and Candace said D. So let's see. The general partners manage the business and make the operational decisions. All right. Yes, I like that. The limited partners manage the business. No, the limited partner is the silent partner. All partners share equal responsibility. No, because you've got a limited partner. One partner is elected by majority vote. That seems like it would be a good idea, but it's not about a vote. It's about setting up who you are within the company. If you're a partner, you're a partner, whether it's 2 people or 7 people. Everybody is equally responsible. But if you're a limited partner, you're that silent partner, the most you could lose is your investment. So that means our answer is, it's A. I don't know why I've got so many sound effects coming out of my mouth today, but who knows why I do anything. So first, are we good? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping everybody's good with that. I'm hoping my explanation makes sense. And yes, Candace, you said it's definitely A, and you are definitely right. Look at there. 92. A house sold for $480,000, and the buyer obtained an FHA insured mortgage loan for $420,000. If the lender charged 2 discount points, what would the buyer pay? So it's a math question and we'll get to it. But am I the only person that's addicted to watching these YouTube stories? Like people are making, it used to be Reddit stories, but now people are just making up stories and then they're kind of read to you. They usually take someplace between like 30 minutes to an hour. And it's, oh my God, it's so good. If you're not doing it, you need to. But we got a house that's sold. So the sales price was 480. Sales price. And we have a loan for 420. And we're looking for 2 discount points. What do we know about discount points? When it comes to points, points cost somebody 1% of the loan for each point. So I should just say 1 point. 1 point will cost you 1% of the loan amount. And if we're trying to move an interest rate, it'll move it 1/8%, which is 0.125%. In this case, we see it's 2 discount points, so we need 2% because 1% plus 1% is 2%. If our loan is 420, if I do 420 times 2%, I should get an answer. I got 8,400, making our answer A. Oh, A. Oh, all right, Candace, look, you're going to get it next time. You're getting all of these right now. And Caroline, I see you too getting it right. We celebrate our wins. We celebrate our wins. Now, again, if there's anybody who needs me to slow down or explain it a different way, explain it like I actually have some common sense and I know what I'm talking about, just ask. This is all for you all. I mean, I enjoy doing this with you all too, but I want to make sure you've gained some knowledge as we go through. Do not be ashamed because everybody has questions. Y'all know I wasn't sure if I did that one math question right, but I did. All right, 93. What are taxes called that are imposed on property owners to fund specific improvements, such as sidewalks or sewers? Is it A, standard property taxes, B, ad valorem taxes, C, excise taxes, or D, special assessments? Now, some people, your states don't really call them excise taxes, or either way, sometimes some states call these transfer taxes, just so you know. Excise taxes, transfer taxes, revenue stamps, they kind of all fall in the same thing. All right, Marilla said 93 is B. All right, Candace, you said it is D. We got a D, we got a B. Oh, here comes Caroline with another D. Anybody else? Trick said D, and it's D for, wait, what is D for? What is D for? I got to do it real quick.
Under the sea.
That's all we can do. Otherwise, they'll cut me off and say, you can't play somebody else's music. But under the sea, the answer is D. Special assessments. That's our answer. You love it? I know. Yes, exactly, Maril. B. B means, and that's exactly what I was going to say, it means according to value. And that's going to be what our regular type of normal taxes are, where you're either paying by mills, and we know that's going to be, you're going to divide something by 1,000, or you're paying, you know, a dollar amount per 100, something like that. No, Muriel, it's okay. It's not a bummer. You knew it. We just have to, you know, sometimes we just have little mind farts is what I call them. Do not stress about it, right? All right, number 94. What is the term for the illegal practice of guiding prospective buyers or renters toward or away from certain neighborhoods based on their race, religion, or other protected characteristics? So we know this is fair housing. And we're talking about this discrimination for buyers or renters. Is it blockbusting, redlining, steering, or market allocation? All right, okay, Caroline said steering. Mariel, you said steering. Rosalinda, you said B, redlining. Who else put an answer in there? Anita, you said D, market allocation. Tricks, is that for this one? I can't tell. Is that D? Nope. Candace, you said C. Jamie, you said steering C. And yes, okay. Ooh, yep. And you know what, Merle? I want to say thank you. Oh, Rosalinda, you said no, 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 no. B, B, B. Okay. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're good. And yes, our answer is steering. Why? Because blockbusting, otherwise known as panic peddling. How do you spell pedal? Peddle? I don't know. Peddling, however you spell it. That is with sellers. This is when you like break up the block is how I thought of it. This is when I knock on your door and I go, ooh, you know, there are people here that like Brussels sprouts. Their taste isn't to be trusted. Brussels sprout likers are moving into the neighborhood, and you know that's going to bring down the value of the land. You should move and let me help you. Oh, by the way, I'm an agent. That is blockbusting, and that is illegal. It's about sellers. Redlining is about lenders. And whenever you see redlining, I want you to think if there was a map, that lender is literally going in and say, we don't make any loans over here or any loans right there. They're literally marking off the map and saying, hey, we don't make loans there. Steering is about buyers. And I think about putting them in your car. This is my car. Boop, boop. You put them in the car and you steer them to certain places or away from something, right? You said D, your previous answer was B. Okay, I got you. And then we got market allocation. Now, market allocation doesn't really have to do with fair housing. When I think of market allocation, I think of, what's it called? Oh, the Sherman antitrust laws, right? Sherman antitrust laws. This is about not, making a fair market. A lot of times we think of price fixing. Hey, we get together and we agree what the minimum price is going to be or what the price is going to be. But that's not the only thing that's illegal. It is also considered an antitrust violation if we say, okay, well, everybody, these people are only going to take people in the east side, and these people are only going to take people on the west side. And if somebody from the west side wants to work with a company from the east side, we're going to send them away. Highly illegal, cannot happen. So that's okay, Jamie. We're going to learn. That's what we are here to do, is learn. All right, 95. After I take some more water. Also a really great year to graduate from high school. 95. Because I'm old and proud of it. 95. A homeowner sells their property and decides to take the chandelier from the dining room when they move. Before closing, the buyer notices the chandelier is missing and demands its return. Who is likely correct in this dispute? Hey, you were 94, Jamie. Hey, whoop, whoop. 90s were the best. Can we go back? Yeah, oh my gosh. The 90s were so great. They were. Okay, focus, Candace. So is it A, the buyer because the chandelier is a fixture and considered part of the real property? B, the seller because the chandelier is personal property? C, the buyer because all items in the home automatically convey unless removed prior to the listing? Or D, the seller, because this lighting fixtures were never considered real property. Well, I'm hoping that everybody is able to eliminate B and D. It's not the seller that's going to win this one, it's the buyer. There's a chandelier in the lit dining room, and that chandelier is a fixture. And that means it's considered part of the real property, right? Let's talk about why C is wrong. C looks good, but why is C wrong? It's because not all items in the house automatically convey. Both of those words should be like, wee, wee, danger, Will Robinson, danger, Will Robinson. All, must, always, never, none, automatically. Those are all trigger. Like those should be just glaring in your face. You know what? There should be something like, nope, that's too happy. What about maybe that one? This should be warning, warning. I need a warning sign because that's what needs to happen when you see words like that. I can't believe I don't have like a warning sign or something. Maybe I could do something. If you see one of those words, maybe you could be like, but this one. Maybe, I don't know. But you need to have something. You need to have something in your head that goes off when you see those words. But if the seller wants to take the chandelier, he can, right? Only generally, Marily, if they put it in the contract. Because remember, by definition, a fixture is a piece of permanent personal property that's been permanently attached to the real property. So when you buy real estate, you're getting everything that's permanently attached. So if the seller wants it, they need to make sure it's clear in the contract, right? So yeah, Rosalinda, if it was removed before the person looked at the home, then the person would have never seen it, right? The person would have never seen it. If they had simply removed it before anybody saw it, then the buyer would never know there was a chandelier there. But if the buyer sees the chandelier, as an agent, I don't care what state you're in, make sure that contract is very specific about what stays and what goes, right? In general, it's a fixture, and that means it needs to stay. All right, 96. Maria. Oh, you know what? Maria from Prep Agent is supposed to be joining us this week. She's supposed to be joining us. Where is that? I can call her a hussy because she's my friend. But we will have a visit from Maria this week. Yay! Don't see, don't know. That's right, Tricks. That's what I'm talking about. Right? We should call her. Should we call her? I don't know. Maria is a real estate agent representing Jacob, a buyer. During a showing, Maria reveals confidential details about Jacob's finances to the seller's agent to help secure an offer. Which fiduciary duty has Maria violated? Okay, so we know we got a seller and we got a buyer. And the buyer is Jacob, and the agent is Maria. And the Maria went and told the seller something. What? That's no good because they crossed this wall of separation. So what did they do? Was that about them not being loyal? Was that about disclosure, obedience, or accounting? Well, it's not going to be obedience or accounting. Because I'm guessing Jacob didn't say, if I tell you about my finances, do you promise not to share anything, say anything? And then she broke the rules. Like obedient is doing something you were told not to do. So that would be bad, but that's not this example. And accounting would have to do with when you receive money or you're responsible for money. Disclosure just means that you have to disclose to your client, which means yes, our answer is A, loyalty. I like to eat apples and apricots. I'm in a singing mood today. Because okay, gotcha. We'll try Maria. Let's see if she answers and comes on. She might not. We'll do our next question while I do it too. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. Next question. Which of the following best describes syndication? Ooh, good word in real estate. You are on speakerphone. I am. You're on speakerphone. You should join us for this Zoom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dog is being loud, TV's being loud.
That's okay.
Are you doing it right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll stay a little later if you want to join.
What are we doing?
We're just doing questions, random questions that I've never even seen. Yes, I will send you the link. Everybody, Maria is going to join us. Yay!
I'm not on camera ready, but I can hang out with you guys.
Yeah, okay. I'm not on camera because it just slows it down. So let me send you the link and we'll go ahead and do a question. Yay, we'll see you in a second.
Uh-huh.
All right, bye. All right, let me send her the link to the Zoomy room. Yay, we're getting a visit from Maria. All right, now, if I can remember where to find where this link is, the link. You know, I hate that they've changed everything around. Uh-oh, I think that, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, she's not here yet, but where is that stupid thing that tells me what? Oh, I saved it. Hold on, y'all. We're getting, and that means since Maria's coming, I will stay a little longer tonight. I will stay a little longer. So I know I sent this information to somebody earlier today. Let me see if I can find it so I can send it to her. Maria, it's fun. If you've never seen or met Maria, you all are going to love her. Where is this information? That's not it. That's not it. I think this is it. Let's see if this is it. Copy. You remember Maria? Yay! You remember Maria. We're going to send this to her as soon as we find her. There she is. Try this. All right. Oh, bam. Let's see if that's the right one. She'll either join us or she won't. Okay, next question, 97. 97. All right, here we go. Which of the following describes the syndication in real estate? So I don't even know. Does anybody ever teach you all? Did any of you all really learn about the word syndication in your real estate classes? Like I don't even know if that's something that you learned about. Has anybody, whether you are on Zoom or you're on YouTube, put in the chat, has anybody been taught about syndication? I wouldn't have thought that you were. Anybody? No, Maria has not. Okay. All right. Anybody else? I'm going to stop share for a second. Yes. Okay. Candace was a group of investors, but no, you can't say you remember. Anita, you're saying B. All right. So I'm going to do this for a second. Pop. I just need to make sure I gave her the right information and copy. And this, say this for sure. And then boom, boom. All right. Now let me share my screen again. We just play it by ear around here. There's no RAM. There's no method to our madness. All right. So which describes a syndication? A company that owns, operates, or finances income-producing real estate, often treated like a stock. A group of investment structures, a structure where multiple investors pool funds to purchase and manage real estate. A method of dividing land into smaller pieces for sale or for development. Or a partnership formed exclusively between two real estate agents to co-list a property. Now, here's the hilarious part about all of this, y'all. When you say syndication to me, an agent, I think about syndication of a listing. When you put a listing in the MLS, then you get to see it's syndicated to all these other places. That's exactly what I think about when we say syndication, but apparently that's not what they're going for. So I can eliminate C. A method of dividing land into smaller parcels for sale or development, that would be subdividing. It's not C. It's a good word, but it's not C. Not C whatsoever. So when I think of syndication, let's see, a company that owns, operates, or finances income producing real estate like a stock. No, that's not going to be it. No, because that would be more like, that'd be similar like a REIT, not quite a REIT. Remember, REIT is like a real estate investment trust. But no, it's not going to just be one company in a syndication or a partnership formed exclusively between two real estate agents to co-list a property. No, that's not it either. Our answer most definitely, and let me change colors here, is gonna be B, a group investment structure where multiple investors pool funds and purchase and manage real estate. Again, that's not one. There's Maria. Maria, say hello.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Hello.
Hi.
Yes. I can hear you, Maria. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm
Yeah.
good.
It's a reunion. All right, Miss Maria, can you see my screen?
I can.
So I was telling them, funny story, when I read 97, which of the following best describes syndication in real estate? I was
Yeah.
thinking about syndication of our listings.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Like, oh, that's not what they're talking about. That's not one of our options. Oh, my bad. All right. And would you agree this is probably not like, this is like I call it a 20% word. Like you have maybe a 20% chance of this showing up. This is not, hey, if you
Yeah,
didn't
I
know
wouldn't
this,
think that this one would be a primary word for
no.
sure.
You all have seen it now, and okay, we've learned something, but don't stress if you didn't know it. In fact, I was
Yeah, for
asking them,
sure.
most people that weren't even introduced this to them in class. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right,
Mm-hmm.
you want to read number 98? You know you miss reading questions for our
I
students.
do.
Okay,
The
go for it.
primary purpose of the Truth in Lending Act is to A, control interest rates, B, protect consumers, C, protect consumers and financial institutions, or D, protect financial institutions.
Well,
We're like,
I know. Okay, 98. We got Candace who is on YouTube. She says our answer is B, protect consumers. I do like that. Well, I think because a lot of times when I do this, we like to talk about why the wrong answers are wrong, or kind of like we know that Truth in Lending isn't here to protect financial institutions. So y'all know
Right.
we can eliminate this one and this one. We got a 50-50 chance of getting this right. To
Mhm.
control interest rates, actually, it was in the news today. Who is it that messes around with our interest rates? That would
And
be
another thing on these too, I always tell people to think of is whenever there's a choice for protecting the consumer, 95% of the time, most laws are built to protect the consumer, you know?
the ones that we know about are built to
Right.
protect the consumers.
Yeah. So most the answers, if there's a leaning towards protecting consumers, that's usually who's protected by law.
Exactly. Making our answer be protect the consumers. Bees in the
Mhm.
trap. Bees in the trap. All right. Well, we like to sing in here. 99. Which of the following is not a required element of a valid real estate contract? Now, y'all know, you're going to be asked a question like this on the exam. We definitely need to know what are essential and non-essential or required elements of a contract and a deed are, right? Deeds and
Yeah.
contracts, so important. So is it
I
A,
would almost guarantee this one or a form of
right?
it.
Yeah, I mean, some form of it, whether it's deed or contracts, this is what we call that 100% question. Like, y'all better know it. Just like, you know what? I would say truth in lending is like a 90% question. You either need to know truth in lending or RESPA or TRID, which is a combination of the both.
Mm-hmm.
So which of the following is not a required element of a real estate contract? Again, we got this not, y'all. So that means 3 of these will truly be, they will be correct, and 1 of these will be false. We're looking for the false answer, the one that's wrong. Don't get to the right answer and be like, oh yeah, that has to be in a contract, and give the wrong answer. That's not good.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Anita, Candace, and Trix all said D. Mariel, you said D. Really, you said D. Caroline, you said D. So I think we have to go with bum 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 notarization. The answer is D.
Was my loud dog being live streamed earlier?
No, your dog that starts with D is not being loud.
He
How
was
is my
being loud
Butters?
earlier. Yes,
How
he's
is my Butters today?
well, he's got these little footies.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, and they're for his for the ice storm that never hit this part of North Carolina, everywhere but
I
here.
got you.
Yeah.
Well, you can have some of the snow I got if you want.
Mm.
Number 100, the last one of this test question bank. A buyer purchases a home and later discovers an undisclosed lien on the property. What protection could the buyer rely on to cover financial losses related to this defect? All right, so we got a home purchase, and then there's this undisclosed lien. And what can you do as a buyer to protect yourself from some financial losses with that lien? Is it A, the purchase agreement, B, a special warranty deed, C, a title insurance policy, or D, the appraisal report? This is a good question, y'all, because all of these are great vocab words. So if I break this down, we know a purchase agreement is, the agreement to buy/sell between the buyer and the seller. I mean, the contract might have something in that. I mean, but that's not what you get it for. You get it to
right. It's
get
not
that
going to
purchase
really.
contract
I
to
mean, once it's
transfer.
closed,
Yeah, I'm
it
gonna
says
say
here
no
that they
today.
purchased the home, so that's kind of beyond the scope of the purchase contract. The
All right.
appraisal report isn't going to tell us about liens,
I mean,
so that's not
it's
going to
not
help us too
D. Yep,
much.
that's not going to tell us about liens. That's going to give us value. Now, Maria, you said you're between B and C, a special warranty deed and a title insurance policy. Well, you're on the right path because both of these have to do with title. But our answer is not going to be B, a special warranty deed. Why? Because remember, a special warranty deed says, hey, buyer, if I'm the seller, I'm saying, hey, buyer, I'm telling you you're getting good title and that I didn't mess it up. While I own the property, this last person that owned it, I did not mess it up. And if somebody comes and says there actually is a problem, I will fix it. But if somebody comes and says, oh, a person before me who owned the property messed it up, I can't help you. If you want that kind of protection, you need a warranty deed or a general warranty deed. So that may not protect you from financial losses on that undisclosed lien if the person comes from a prior owner, making our answer C, title insurance policy.
Now that we're on this topic too, we should bring up about closing protection coverage.
Ooh, okay. Before you do that, though, Caroline asked, does title insurance protect the lender or the buyer? Maria, what would you say to that?
Depends on what kind of title insurance we've got here, right? We could have a lender's policy of title insurance that only protects the lender, and the owner's policy of title insurance would protect the owner. So they're two different policies. The lender may force the buyer to get a lender's policy of title insurance in order to make the loan, but they would also need to get that owner's policy of title insurance to protect the owner, the buyer. That's a good question. That's a great point.
That is a great point. So let's say I own a house. Let's say the purchase price was $250. And I put $50,000 down. I don't know why I write so big. 50K. When you get that policy, the owner comes in and they're going to have $50,000 in coverage, and the lender would have $200,000 in coverage. And as you pay down your loan, then this number is going to go down. But as your equity increases, this 50,000 amount goes up. So at some random point in the future, you're going to have $100,000 in equity, and they're going to have $150,000 that would belong to them. And that's going to keep going, keep going, keep going until eventually the lender has no coverage because you've paid off the loan. And now this owner has a $250,000 policy. Now, we know most mortgages take about 30 years to pay off. You can do a 20-year, 15-year, but we know generally they're 30 years. And I think we can all assume over 30 years, this value has gone up from appreciation. So maybe in 30 years, that house is now worth $800,000.
Mm-hmm.
It is important to remember, very testable fact. When you buy a title insurance policy, it only covers your purchase price. Anything you got from appreciation would not be covered. It's not covered. A title insurance policy only covers what you paid. It does not cover appreciation.
Which, when you think about it, any problem that should be on the title probably wouldn't, I mean, I guess possibly could be more than what the house was worth at the time, but likely
That'd be
not.
hard.
That'd be
That'd
hard.
be definitely an attorney type deal. Get an attorney. You should always get an attorney with stuff like this.
Right.
So, Maria, you had said something else. If we're talking about title insurance, what else should we be talking about?
Well, and closing protection coverage at the closing table. So one of the things that came up recently in a discussion I was having was, when you go to the closing on the home, the title company will say, do you want to buy closing protection coverage that covers like all the money that changed hands here at this closing goes where it needs to go, right?
Yep. Because we know there's been a lot of thefts, like online, like it's to
Mhm.
stop theft
Yeah,
of funds. And this is
yeah,
a big deal right now.
it is.
This is a really big deal. You probably would not be tested on it, but guys, I mean, when you get a license, you
Yep.
want to make sure you don't end up then getting broke because you told your clients to do something silly or their money was stolen and now you're getting sued or whatever. It's not necessarily your job to provide the insurance, but you should be aware it exists and probably should suggest it to your clients. Hey,
Yep.
if they offer you some closing protection, you may want to do that because what if somebody steals it? Right? It's just covering that kind of idea versus our title insurance is all about our title.
I miss my time with Candace.
I
This
miss
was
my
fun,
time with
right?
you, ma'am.
I'm
All
glad
right.
I'm glad you invited me.
Well, let's see. Do I have any other questions to go over? Let's ask the group. Do you all want me to go another 15 minutes or so with questions, or are you all questioned out? I've been doing this for an hour. So if you
Oh
want us
boy.
to continue, just say yes, and we'll do another 15 minutes. But if you're like, okay, we've had enough of you, then just say no, we're good. Okay, Caroline said yes, if you don't mind. I don't mind. Are you good with that, Miss Maria? Can we go another 15
I am,
minutes?
yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's see. Oh, you know what, y'all? I just had AI come up with some new questions that I wasn't thinking we were going to get through all of these today. So this is fresh off of AI. And this time I used Claude. I know everybody is familiar with ChatGPT, but this time I used Claude to come up with the questions. So this is my first time looking at them. I literally did this earlier today.
I haven't used Claude yet. What's Claude?
Claude is, where did I save those to? Claude is like like you have Gemini, you have ChatGPT. Claude is just another program. I mean, I shouldn't
Oh,
say it like that, but he's just
huh.
another program Where did I save it?
Kind of like Ask
I
Jeeves.
saved it under, yeah, like you have Chat GPT. Okay, I see where it is. I have to pull it up. So it's gonna be
I don't like Gemini as much as I do ChatGPT.
Gemini is much better, and Notebook LM is the best thing ever for studying. So if you all are looking for a good way to study, Notebook LM is absolutely something you should think about.
You
And
know, Quizlet
then
Pro has some questions too now.
it
Like you can do like an
does.
interactive session with it, which is kind of creepy but cool.
Did I
They're
not
fun.
save the Claude? Oh, I haven't saved the Claude stuff yet. Well, then let's just go to this one. This is the Chat GPT one. My first time really looking at it. Here we go. So, by the way, guys, if you're looking for extra practice questions, you don't necessarily have to pay for them because ChatGPT will make them for you. I literally put in a prompt and I asked for I think this is 200 questions. Yep. And you can see here, I said, hey, give me, can I write on this, please? And thank you. No, converting file. Okay. I'm going to try to write on this, but I said, give me questions. And you see here in big letters, there we go. I asked it to do national concepts commonly tested on PSI and Pearson VUE. So there you go. Do you need to pay? Nope, you can do free. If you pay, then you get a better quality of what comes out from AI, but just a basic one will work too.
But I'm gonna tell
Okay,
you, I think it's the best $20 a month that I spend is to have ChatGPT paid.
I know. I know.
It saves me so much stuff. Like seriously, you guys, you can even tell it like plan my weekly grocery shopping list, and these are the kinds of things that I like, and give me recipes, and it'll do all that kind of stuff for you. It's
And in
really
a moment of, okay, ChatGPT, pull it together. How's this helping me, ChatGPT? Question one, sample national real estate exam question. Plausible real estate distractor, plausible real estate distractor, plausible real estate distractor. Okay, that's okay. This is why we work with ChatGPT a little bit. Let me pull it up and I'll directly share it with us. Let's see. I did say, where is it? You know, ChatGPT, you are just so rude for not doing that correctly. Where are you?
Oh, let me give you one. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, I got one here. I'm gonna read it to y'all, so you just gotta listen. A
Mhm.
seller tells her agent, I take less if I had to, but don't tell the buyer. The agent must, you ready for it? A,
Wait,
share
wait,
the,
wait, 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 wait. Let me make notes so people can see. What did this person say?
a seller tells her agent, I take less if I had to, but don't tell the buyer. The agent must A, share the information to help the buyer negotiate. B, keep the information confidential. C, put it in the MLS. Or D, disclose it only if asked.
Hmm. Anybody
Let me
got
read
an
it one more
answer for
time. A
that?
seller tells her agent, I take less if I had to, but don't tell the buyer. The agent must A, share the information to help the buyer negotiate. B, keep the information confidential. C, put it in the MLS. Or D, disclose it only if asked. This is the seller's agent here. What do y'all
All
think?
right. Caroline said B. Marily said B. Let's see. Where is I can tell
And
you what everybody else
B
said once I
is
find it.
right. B is right.
There
It's
you go.
confidentiality, right? She is the seller's agent, not the buyer's agent. So she needs to keep that confidential.
And yes, Mary, she asked, is that Maria? Yes, it very much is Maria.
Hey,
Yes,
how
it
are you?
is. Okay. You have another question while I try to work
I
out with
do. I have another one.
ChatGPT? Yay. Oh, wait. I was gonna say, is there a way for you to write on my board? But there's not. So just read it.
No.
Y'all be careful.
Okay, let's see here. Which action is a violation of federal fair housing laws? This one's a little tricky, also. I'm gonna read it slow. A, advertising no pets allowed. B, refusing to rent to someone with poor credit. C, charging a higher deposit to families with children, or D, requiring renters to pass a background check. So I'm going to read it one more time. Fair housing. Which action is a violation of federal fair housing laws? A, advertising no pets allowed. B, refusing to rent to someone with poor credit. C, charging a higher deposit to families with children. Or D, requiring renters to pass a background check. What do you guys think?
Ooh, okay. Well, Marily says C. Caroline said C. Let me see what everybody else is saying. Oh, Candace, who's on YouTube, said A.
Now, see, I think that was a little bit tricky because they're saying no pets allowed, but they're not excluding service animals. Remember, service animals are not the same as pets. That's the trick on that one, right?
Mhm.
We can say no pets allowed, but we can't say no service animals.
Exactly. Exactly.
So even though a service animal could be a dog or cat or whatever the case may be, that not all pets are service animals, right?
Exactly.
Well,
Nope.
pets and service animals are different things. Sorry. I didn't say that very well.
No, that's
So we
okay. We
definitely
still love
can't
you.
charge a higher deposit to families with kids. That would be a no-no,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's a protected class, so we can't do that one. Here we go. You want to do a math question?
Yeah, let's do a math
I'm
question.
gonna
Here,
type
I'll
this one
write it
though.
out.
I'm gonna type it.
I wonder, I'm looking at my screen and I can't tell
Okay.
if
I'm gonna type
everybody
that
is
in.
on time with us. So that's okay. They'll catch up if they're not here. So I can't tell if there's a lag in my streaming. Go
All
for
right,
it.
I'm
Give
gonna
me the
type it out.
deets.
You ready?
Oh, you can just tell it to me and I'll
A home
write
sells
it out.
for two. Oh, you ready? You got your pen?
I got
Okay,
my
a home
pen.
sells for $240,000.
So home sells for $240,000.
Mm-hmm. The commission is 6%, split evenly between the brokerages.
Okay, wait, hold that thought 1 second. I just want to make sure that my YouTube people aren't behind.
Okay.
So, YouTube people, put the number 2 in the chat for me if you can hear me. If you're in YouTube and you can hear me, put the number 2 in the chat and then give me a what time you're typing it. I can't tell if it's my computer that's slow or if it's not giving them what they need. Do 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 do. Let's try this again. Let's upgrade them. See, my computer says they're stuck.
Oh no.
Hold on. Okay, nope, it's working. No, it's not.
Okay.
Wait, you know what? They're not seeing my screen change. That's what it is, because I just heard myself saying do 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 do. So now let me share it again, and maybe that'll work. Let's share and okay, yay. Now hopefully you all are gonna see the new screen. So there we go. Okay, they're catching up. So
Okay.
a home sells for
I'm typing it right now. 70% of their brokerages. Sorry, I'm like a Hunter Pecker here.
well, you
Not
don't
the
have to.
best.
You can type it out now. You can just tell it to me.
Okay, so I put it in there. A home sells for 240,000. The commission is 6%, split evenly between two brokerages.
Wait. Commission is 6% and it's split evenly. All right.
Between two brokerages.
Mm-hmm.
The salesperson receives 70% of their brokerage's portion. How much does the salesperson receive?
And then our question is, how much does salesperson get? All right, we can do this. Perfect. Okay, Anita can see, Trix can see. Yay, we're good. We're good. Yay. So here's how I would do it. I know that there is, and I'll change colors here just to make it a little bit easier. We know that there is a sales price. That's huge. That's what she said. There's a sales price. Shut up. I did say that out loud. Of, there we go,
240,000.
240,000. There we go. That's better.
Mm-hmm.
And if I multiply that by 6%, I'm going to get the total commission. This is the commission that goes to both the listing agent and the buyer's agent. So 240,000 times 6% is 240,000 times 6%, 14.4.
Yep.
Now we know that 14.4 is split in two ways. So 50% goes to one side. That's a 5. You just can't tell. And 50% goes to the other side. So how much is that 50%? What is that? 7,200?
Yes, indeed.
I can do math in my head.
Yes, indeed.
That's what.
7,200 each.
Go ahead.
Now remember though, we have to make sure that we remember the salesperson is only getting 70% of their broker's side here. So 70% of 7,200 is what? How much is 70% of 7,200?
So we can just multiply 7,200 times 70% times 70.
5,040.
Whoop, whoop. That is our final answer.
Now, just so you guys know, a lot of times we're not doing the splitting anymore. Some brokerages are, and
Mhm.
some brokerages aren't. Like in my office, the seller pays the commission directly to the buyer broker if that's the agreement in the contract, right? So
Yep.
make sure when you get your license and you start talking to your broker about how do we handle this commission thing, that this makes sense to you. Because back in the old days, the assumption was, oh, the listing agent charges a fee, and then he splits that commission with the buyer's agency. Doesn't necessarily always be, not necessarily the way we do it anymore.
Yes, that is very, very true. Oh, I'm liking doing some math. And I know I have math questions on this computer, so let's see what we got.
I
Let's
am a
do,
big fan of the math.
let's do this. This is my miscellaneous math problems. Let me
Okay.
find one that would be good for this class. That's not too hard. Oh, let's do 14.
Jasper has just purchased a property in which the assessed value for the land is 45,000 and the improvements are 83,000. Assuming a county tax rate of 87 cents and a city rate of 97 cents, what would be the tax bill for the year?
So this is going to be, and this is for North Carolina. So this is going to be 87 cents and 97 cents per $100.
So in North Carolina, I'm trying to remember because it's been a little bit. Do we do improvements? Do the improvements get the tax too, or just the land?
Both get taxed. So what
Okay,
we
that's
can
what I was
do is we can add the 45,000 plus the 83,000 because you're going to be taxed on both. So 45 plus 83 is 45 plus.
Oh, this
80.
might be a good vocabulary word to talk about too. Remember, the improvements are the things on top of the land, right?
Yep,
So your house,
Mhm.
your barn, all that stuff.
exactly. So that's our total assessed value. And I call that the ass value. Just because I like doing that. Just because I like saying those words together. All right. And we need to know how many, when you see this rate, and put it to you this way, this rate is based off of the number of $100 in the assessed value. Or the way I like to imagine is, let's say you had a $100 bill. How many would it take to make 128,000? How many $100 bills would you need to make $128,000? So we're going to take the 128,000 and we're going to divide that by 100. Now I still go old school and I just get rid of my zeros. Boom. So I know there are 1,280 100s in 128,000. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Did that make sense how I explained it, Miss Maria? Did you
Yes,
cool with
but you're
that?
better at math in the head than I am, so I would have just used my calculator.
Girl, if I'm the one that's better in the math in my head, then we are both struggling.
So we got that 1,280 is our, excuse me, is our number of 100s here. So let's figure out our county tax rate first.
Oh, see, now I would have done this, added the 87 cents and the 97 cents, and then just been done with it.
See, I
You
would have
can. So they got two options here, guys. I would have added it together, but you could figure out the 87 cents and then figured out the 97 cents. And then whatever you get from those two answers, then you add them together. Either way would work.
So
They
on the
will give you the same
87
way.
cents, I got $1,113.60.
Wait, okay. So you said, what was the 87 cent side?
Yeah, so I got $1,113.60.
So you got $1,113.60 on that side.
Yep.
And what did you get on the other side?
All right, so let's do
97 times 1280.
1280 times 97 cents. I got $1,241.60.
1,249.
$41.60. So let's add those two together and we get 1,113. Wait, add that. And I got a total of $2,355.20. I
All
have
right,
more
let's see.
steps than Candace did, though. She's probably smarter to do it the way she did it.
Well, I just know I tend to mess up numbers a lot. So I try to do the least amount of math possible. So I'm going to add the 87 and the 97 cents, which would be 0.87 plus 0.97, which is $1.84. I'm going to take that $1.84 and multiply it by 1280. And that's going to give me $2,355.20. Look at there, y'all. It doesn't matter which way you do it, you will come up with the right answer. Boom. We love it. Oh, I see Anita got the right answer. All right. All right. All right. All right. I love it. All right. Well, that was an additional 15 minutes. So here's what we're going to do. I'll be back. This is going to be my last Friday. Everybody knows this is my last Friday, and it's going to be Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I know you can't be there for that, Maria, but that's okay. This is our last Friday. But then we're going to go to Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And if we're lucky, Maria might join us for that one. But guys, Sunday, 5 p.m. And then this Friday is our last Friday. 5 p.m. Sunday. This Friday, 3 p.m. Yay.
Candace, I got a fun thing, kind of like a fun activity.
Okay.
And it's not about the real estate exam, but it's something that I did at a meeting that I went to. If you want to do it with folks, we'll try to find a time that's like an interview with yourself.
Oh, yeah, we could totally do that.
Right. Yeah. So like you're an agent and someone's interviewing, like ChatGPT is interviewing you.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Jessica shared it with me. It was really cool. And it's like to get you, like a client was interviewing you, what would your responses be? And it's really cool because it
Ooh.
makes you like role play and think, and it was fun.
And that would help for the test. Before we go any further on that, though, Anita asked, you said if it's city tax, county taxes applied automatically. Yes, if it was a house in the county and not in the city, we'd only be doing county tax. But if you live in the city, they're automatically going to charge you county and city tax. Yes, Anita, that is correct. So yes, I would love to do that. We'll have to pick a time to go in and we can interview. We can have AI interview us. Oh, do I get to get dressed up for that? It'll be awesome.
You can sell AI on listing their house.
Okay. That's a
Maria?
really great tool.
I thought it was kind of.
I was just curious because I remember Maria from,
Yeah.
that
Hey.
other place. What are you up to now?
Oh, so I am one of the managing brokers at EXP in Ohio. So that is what I am doing these days. And I still teach a little bit, but not as much as Candace.
Okay, I remember you.
We heart Maria.
Thank
Whoop,
you,
whoop.
Candace.
We heart Maria. So when I get back here on Friday and Sunday, I will have the questions from AI. I'll get, AI to actually give me the actual questions and not just
It did that to me one time too when I put that prompt in. I don't know why it does that.
it just but if you asked it to put it on the screen, it'll do it completely.
Yeah.
Claude
Yeah.
did it right, but I hadn't photocopied it or copied and pasted it yet. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Maria, thank you so much for joining in,
Thanks,
and we will
bye.
see y'all next time. Y'all stay warm out there. It's cold. Bye
Thank you,
everybody.
ladies. Bye.
Bye.